What's up, everyone? I'm Cara, and welcome back to the channel where we break down everything crypto, XRP, and the company Ripple. We've got 3 news stories from the last 24 hours that could change everything. Let's dive in. Story number 1, and this is breaking news. The White House is reportedly threatening to withdraw support from the Clarity Act. This story broke just hours ago, and it's sending shockwaves through the crypto market. Here's what's happening. CoinGape and The Street are reporting that the White House is considering pulling its sponsorship of the Clarity Act. This is the major bill that's supposed to regulate crypto markets. And this comes after a public rift with Coinbase. Now here's the drama. Coinbase, the largest crypto exchange in the United States, just pulled out its political backing. They're saying they don't agree with how the bill is being formulated. This is huge because Coinbase was one of the staunchest supporters of this bill. But check this out. Despite this regulatory tension, XRP and Ethereum are showing incredible resilience. XRP is trading near $2.05, maintaining a fairly flat position. The token is clinging to the very important support of $2. And here's what's wild. On January 16th, spot XRP ETFs recorded net inflows of $1.11 million. Even with all this regulatory uncertainty, institutional investors are still buying. The market had a 1% increase in total capitalization, driving it to about $3.24 trillion. Bitcoin is hovering above 95,000. Solana, Dogecoin, and Cardano have all gained. So what does this mean? The crypto market is showing strength despite the White House Clarity Act tensions. Investors are betting that crypto will move forward with or without this specific bill. The infrastructure is being built regardless. This is a critical moment. The dispute leaves crypto policy ambiguous, but investors are gambling that assets like XRP and ETH will push through this regulatory confrontation. We're watching this very closely. Story 2. RippleX just announced that the permissioned domains amendment on the XRP ledger is nearing the threshold for activation. They're calling this a game changer. Here's what permissioned domains actually is. It's an enabling feature that sets the stage for financial institutions to engage in permission flows on a fast, scalable, and resilient blockchain network, the XRPL. Now listen to this. The permissioned DEX will enable permissioned trading flows. Traditionally, any XRPL DEX offer can be matched by anyone. A permissioned DEX changes that completely. RippleX said, and this is a direct quote, "It will allow regulated players to trade on XRPL's DEX using verified credentials, enabling KYC-gated FX swaps, stablecoin flows, and more. A major step toward real-world compliant DeFi. This is institutional-grade controls on a public network. Banks can't use fully public blockchains because they can't control who they transact with. Permission domains solves this by creating walled gardens on the public ledger. And it gets bigger. The upcoming lending protocol may also apply permission domains for controlled lending and borrowing flows. This brings institutional-grade controls to XRPL without the trade-offs of a private chain." Luke Judges, a Ripple executive, emphasized the commercial utility. He said this could enable payment flows across the Brazilian real to USD corridor with XRPL as the settlement rail. Popular community member Krippenreiter highlighted on-chain FX as a headline application. Anodos Finance CEO Panos Mekras said the only thing left is to bring the actual assets and liquidity to flow. Krippenreiter agreed, calling for more stablecoins, RWAs, and more market making. This is exactly what traditional finance needs to adopt blockchain. Compliance-driven deployments, regulated entities participating in XRPL's native order books. This is the bridge to institutional adoption. Story 3. RippleX just announced that all XRPL version 3.0.0 amendments have been triggered for mainnet adoption in 2 weeks. The Crypto Times reported this. This is a critical technical milestone. Here's the urgent alert. If you operate an XRPL node or validator, it is critical that you upgrade your software to the current version to avoid being amendment blocked. This is not optional. So what does v3.0 actually do? According to Ripple's blog post, this update fixes important bugs, improves technical functions, and adds tools for developers. It corrects errors with tokens, escrows, and price data to make ledger records more accurate. The update improves how the ledger handles tokens, escrows, and price data while making records more precise. It enhances network performance by making AMM transactions, consensus checks, and order book loading more reliable. Developers benefit from cleaner code, better testing systems, and clearer setup instructions. The company repackaged code modules, condensed transaction steps, and enhanced signature validation. But here's the big picture. This upgrade follows Ripple's roadmap from September 2025, which focuses on using XRPL for regulated financial services. This includes the upcoming XLS66 lending protocol. The new version adds currently disabled amendments, including the lending protocol, dynamic MPT, and fixes. These amendments are nearly code complete, but not yet open for voting. The lending protocol will enter validator voting in late January. Futures volume has climbed 61% to 7.7 billion. Open interest increased 1% to around 4.15 billion. New positions were added instead of traders closing existing ones. This upgrade prepares the network for the lending protocol and compliance features. Multi-purpose tokens, identity credentials, and deep freeze are coming to support compliance needs. This is institutional-level infrastructure being built. Let's connect all three stories from the last 24 hours. Story 1. White House threatens to pull Clarity Act support after Coinbase withdraws backing, but XRP ETFs still recorded 1.11 million in inflows. Market resilience despite regulatory tension. Story 2. Permission domains nearing activation. Game changer for institutional adoption. KYC-gated trading. On-chain FX. Compliance-driven DeFi. The bridge traditional finance needs. Story 3. XRPLv 3.0 amendments triggered. Mainnet adoption in 2 weeks. Node operators must upgrade. Lending protocol coming late January. Institutional infrastructure being built. This is the perfect storm. Regulatory uncertainty? Yes. But XRPL is building institutional-grade infrastructure anyway. Permissioned DEX, lending protocols, compliance tools, multi-purpose tokens. The White House might pull the Clarity Act, but Ripple is building the future regardless. Financial institutions need these tools: permissioned flows, KYC-gated trading, controlled lending and borrowing. XRP price surged 3%, trading volume up 83%, futures volume up 61%. The market is responding to fundamentals being built. None of this is financial advice. I'm covering the developments as they happen. Crypto is volatile. Always do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. I'm Cara. If this breakdown was valuable, smash that like button, drop your thoughts on the Clarity Act drama in the comments, and subscribe for daily updates. This is getting wild. See you in the next one. Let's go.